Do you ever find yourself wondering, where did the time go in life? Where have all the years gone? And you've got all these things that you wanted to do, and you have things that you still want to do, but where did the time go where you're going to do all these things? I think it's really easy for time to get away from us because we're so busy just living and doing the things that we need to do with working and taking care of families and family members and things like that. And it hit me one day that the average lifespan, average life expectancy of someone in America is about 80 years. Okay, some people are more. Some people are blessed with good genes. They might live to be 90, 85, 90, even more. Some people perhaps a little bit less, unfortunately. But it hit me that, midlife, we have a tendency to think that midlife is like 50. Midlife is 40. So, it's really important for us to make sure that we do the things that we want to do, not only while we're alive, but while we are able to do them. Because as people get older, health things start to crop up, problems start to crop up. And it's really important, from the time that you're in your 20s on forward, that you make sure you do in life the things that are important to you, the things that lift you up, the things that get you fired up and excited to start the day and to be living this great life and this, and just to feel alive. And I was listening to someone. I saw a news clip years ago of someone. I won't say who it is because it's not important. But they were. I think it was some sort of. They were giving a speech someplace, and the person used the phrase. They said that they had more years behind them than ahead of them. And I started thinking about that, and it really kind of freaked me out because, oh my God, I'm kind of in the same situation where I have lived, 2/3 of my life, and I've got 1/3 of my life ahead of me. So I have more years behind me than ahead of me as well. And it really got me thinking about wanting to make the most of the rest of my life, not just while I'm living, but while I'm able to do it in a way that I want to, while I'm mobile, while I'm healthy. Because you never know what's going to happen, right? We never know what's going to happen. So we have to make the most of life while we're able to. And I remember seeing in the book called Designing Your Life, a form for sort of planning out the next 5 years of your life. So I kind of adapted it and I started using it. This is what it looks like. In the book, they actually have a bunch of stuff down here, which I took off. But all you do, and you can make this yourself if you wanted, these are just 5 spaces for 5 years. I have trouble planning past 3 years, like sort of looking to the future and being able to say, this is what will happen in the 5th year. I can get to 3 years and I'm, pretty good, but beyond that, it gets fuzzy for me. So if you can do 5 years, do 5. If you can do 3, do 3. And all I did was I just wrote different years on here and what I wanted to do in those years. Where I wanted to go, where I wanted to travel, what events I wanted to see, what experiences I wanted to have. And, this is, it's not written in stone, but it's written down. And this is important because when we write things down, it becomes solid. It's easier for us to wrap our heads around it versus having, doing something that is just sort of in our head and, it just gets wrapped up in everything else going on in our head. But when we write things down, okay, when we write things down, it makes it real. And when we say things, it makes it real. It puts it out into the universe. And, the universe reacts to us. When we tell friends and family that, in 2 years we want to go on a, Antarctic cruise, that helps make it real. That helps make it happen because it just does something in our heads where, writing it and saying it gives it some sort of finality or gives it some sort of structure. I don't know how to describe it, but I think you know what I'm saying. So anyway, you can make one of these yourself, or if you want something like this, drop me a message. And I'll email this to you. But I just simply have, the last 2 years I put question marks because I can't deal with anything past 3 years. And I just have something there where I wanted to go. I'm going to, Oman, the country of Oman, this, January, February, that's on here. I might go to Europe later in the year. I talked about going to Burning Man next year, perhaps not next year, 2 years, 2024. Going to the Edinburgh, Scotland Fringe Festival. That's on here. All these little things that I want to do. Maybe take another. I've taken a couple improv courses. I might take another improv course, or I might take a sketch comedy course. All these things that I want to take, I put on here, and then I actually put this on the wall, and it keeps it top of mind for me. It helps me look at it and say, oh yeah, I don't want to forget to do this thing, versus just sort of rolling around your mind. So if you like something like this, you can either create it yourself, just draw it with a ruler, or drop me a message. I'm happy to send you this. And I hope you get the most out of your life and really do the things that you like to do, that lift you up and that get you fired up in the morning. Talk to you soon.